morning. My today's topic is JavaScript. Myself Shravan Kumar, Assistant Professor from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So, what is the meaning of JavaScript? A JavaScript is a programming language that is supported by modern browser. A script language that is like C and like C having syntax and intended to manipulate a web page document object. It is very loosely typed, which support primitive type like integer, booleans, doubles, and having non-primitive type like strings, also having arrays, user-defined objects, has built-in functions like eval, parseInt, parsefloat, alert, get attribute, set attribute, all kind of things. So typically JavaScript application you have seen on your web browser. So once we are going to post a page sent from some server back to the server with client supplied data. Also we have to use JavaScript for validate form field on client side, alter the style of page element based on the mouse events, hide, show and move page element, manage page scrolling, also set and retrieve the cookies. So JavaScript is basically a client-side scripting language. So these are the following applications which we will use in our using JavaScript. Next, what JavaScript can't do for reason of security. First of all, we can't read or write file to the file system. Still, IIS and Internet Explorer provide file system object that script can use to do that. Also, we can't execute other programs using JavaScript. We can't establish communication with another computer other than the download a page or send an email. Internet Explorer provides the file object that script can use to upload and download. So we can't read the browser history. We can't act as a DOM to other page that did not come from the same server. So these are the following things which can't be do with the JavaScript due to some security reason. So what are the JavaScript type? Most objects are of reference type. So DOM object, user defined objects and arrays. So other types we write like this way in single quote or double quote, a numeric value as we have defined 5 or boolean value as true or false. So everything is either a literal or an object in JavaScript. So special values are also there like not a number and infinity. Once we define 0 by 0, in that case that is not a number, and if we define a value by 0, that will be infinity. So string, number and boolean, how we are represented in JavaScript. So that is the thing. We define where as a keyword which is specified in JavaScript. So we will define where s1 equal is assignment operator, and we define this is a literal string. So that define a string. Automatically the where will take s1 as a string literal. So another way to define a string, where s2 equal to new string, we define a object type and we define within the double quotes in the round bracket, and this will also represent a string object, and that is of s2. Third, where I equal to 3, here I will be of integer type, or that is a 3 is a number, so where is I will be of integer type. If we define where d is 3.1415927, that is a double value. So where here the d will define a decimal value with a decimal value, or we can say a floating value. So where d2 equal to new number, and we define in scientific way 34.2 e minus 3. Here it will represent a variable in as a object value. If we define where b1 equal to true, so that will define a boolean value. One more thing, this true in double quotes and this true, though both are not same. Here it represent a string variable, and this represent a boolean value. Again, we are going to define where b2 equal to new boolean false. Here the false will be the object value of b2. So in JavaScript object, all objects are dictionaries, means collections of name and value pair. Here the object will be defined by this way, where my object equal to new object. That define an object in one way. Here my object dot name equal to my object, that is the value for that particular name. That is a usual way. We define it as a another way, my object, that in the square bracket double quote equal to new date. We define a date object for particular date object. Once we are going to define, we will use document.write. So first we define my object. We define the here variable. So my object dot name. Here the name will be my object. We want to display the date, so we will write document.write my object dot date. This will give us the date value. So the function is also be treated as an object. So function a fun, so that will be in the curly bracket, my object dot my fun equal to a fun. Add member function, so we can specify some special object also, like null and undefined. So prototypes in JavaScript, we can create a new object as a copy of existing object, that is the prototype, like this way. Variable where your object equal to new my object, we define a string value and date. Here we define my object. Here we have to create new prototype for that. So we can add a property or method to a string single instance of same object as this way, where my mod object equal to new my object, and we can define also as a property my mod object dot property one equal to some string. So we can add property or method to every instance of an object like this way. We can define my object dot prototype dot property is equal to some property also. So there are three kind of message boxes in JavaScript. First one is our alert box. So we define the alert box. An alert box is often used if we want to make some sure information comes through the user. So when an alert box pop up, the user will have to click OK to proceed. So syntax is window.alert, and we define some text. Here is the code how we will use an alert box. So here we define the JavaScript code here. So you will see here HTML that define the title of the page. So we define in the head. So next we have body. In body we have defined the JavaScript code, script language equal to JavaScript. By default, we define it as a JavaScript. So if we don't define it, in that case it will not take as a JavaScript. So we have to define either window.alert or alert. We have to define that particular value we want to confirm. So I have written hello from C# corner. So script tag will be closed and body tag will be closed. So once you will see a message box will be appear here, and you will see whatever text you are writing that will be appeared here, and you have to click on the OK to proceed, because in alert box a message that is sure information come through the user. If we talk about second type of box, that is confirm box. A confirm box is often used if we want the user to verify or accept something. So when confirm box pop up, user have to click either OK or cancel to proceed. If the user click OK, the box return true. If the user click cancel, the box return false. So we have to choose here whether we want to proceed or we want to cancel it. So the syntax for message confirm box is window.confirm. So that text will be appeared on the message box. So see how the message box will be appeared. You will see this code. In this code, here we have defined script language equal to JavaScript. So we have to define confirm. Confirm, do you really want to exit? So that will be appeared here in this output window. Our output pop-up box will be appeared with that particular text, and we have two buttons, OK and cancel. If we press OK, it will proceed further. If we want to cancel it, then we click cancel button. Third type of box is prompt box. Third type of box is prompt box. So a prompt box is often used if we want user to input value before entering the page. So when prompt box pop up, the user will have to click either OK or cancel to proceed after entering the input value. If the user click OK, the return box in the input value, the user that value will be entered. If user click cancel, the box return null. So the syntax for that particular prompt box is window.prompt, that text and some default text if we wish to put there. So how that is going to be used? So we have to define a variable test prompt. That particular string will be appeared, welcome to the coding world, enter your name, and we have to define here Krishna. So once we are going to write, you will see the thing that particular thing, and that is default value, and you have to define document.write welcome to the corner, and we have to define the text for writing on the web page. You will see once we click the OK, you will see on the web page a name will be appeared. Whatever you name, either default name will be appeared or particular name will be appeared on the web page. That is the output. Next, we are talking about function or object. So in JavaScript, function are also object. So there are three types of function: ordinary function, anonymous function, and function constructor. If I talk about the ordinary function, as we define with function keyword, function, that function name, and we define in square round bracket, and with curly bracket we define the definition of that function. Function are almost have similar syntax as it was defined in C or other languages. So we have defined a function keyword, but one more thing, in C we have to define type, but here we define as function keyword with function keyword. Function, that function name with some argument will be there. Once argument is there, and we have to define a syntax, definition of that particular function. Once we call that function, or we call the function, we define the function name and the string or whatever the argument we are going to pass for that particular parameter, and that will be used in that function. If I talk about the anonymous function, in anonymous function where a variable is defined with particular function, a variable name, and we have to define function as function with particular argument, and we have to define this thing. So this is the definition of anonymous function, because no name is defined with the function, so that is known as anonymous function. If I talk about the function constructor, in that case we have to define a variable myFun equal to new function, and we have to define the value as well as this thing. So it will act as a constructor. It will act as a constructor. So next we are talking about the arrays in JavaScript. So there are three ways to create array. First way is by this way, where array variable name, new array, we have to define values. So here 1, 1.5, 0 and -1, that is one array. If I talk about second type, we have to use square bracket, where array 2, 1, 4, 9, 16 and 26. That is second way to define array. If I talk about third way, in that third way we have to define where array 3, new object. Once that object is defined, array 3, we have to define value. As I earlier told to you, here the object are key value pair. So we have to define key and its value, key and its value, key and its value. So that is a third way to define array. That is the one way. That is one. Second, that is my second way, and that is my third way to define an array. Clear? Next we are talking about user defined object. So two ways to create an object. First is where my particular variable name equal to new object, and we have to define the value for a particular name, my object, and function that particular object. Next, if I talk about second way, my second function, my second object, we have defined arguments, name and function. This dot name equal to name, this dot function equal to function, by using this. So next we are talking about DOM objects. Here DOMs we are going to define two times, here also and in next coming slides also. So DOM, document object model. So here what we will use document, element, text, comment and attribute. So for further information you have to visit w3.org/tr DOM level 2 core. So you will see the complete description about the DOM document. Next, what the DOM method mostly used, that first we have to define ref document dot create element with tag name, ref document dot create text node text. By this way we have to define the DOM methods. So mostly we will you have used either this or this, most of you, and this also. These are the whatever I have written in here, mostly used by for the beginner. So if I talk about the DOM properties, so that will be used in XML only. So these properties are name, node name, integer value. In integer we have to define node type, either element node, attribute node, text node, C data, entity reference node, entity node, processing instruction node. All these are defined here, and these are the DOM properties that if we want to use it, we can use it by using DOM properties. So next we are talking about the Windows property. So Windows properties are basically, here partial list is given. Whether we want to close the window, we want to close document, frames, location, name, navigator, parent and screen. These are the Windows property which we can use by using DOM object. So these are the Windows methods. That partial list is also defined. We have used earlier alert, confirm and prompt, and all other close, confirm, close, focus, move by, move to, set interval, set timeout. All these can be used with the Windows method. So next, common use of JavaScript. So what will be the common use? That will be the form validation, page embellishment and special effects, navigation system, basic math calculations, dynamic content manipulation, sample application like dashboard widgets in Mac OS, Google Maps, Philips Universal Remotes, Rightly word processor, and 100 of other things. So I am taking example of few of them. So first we have taken the example. Here we see we have used script where num1, num2 and some 3 variables are defined. Num1 equal to, we earlier used prompt enter first number, num2 prompt enter second number. Then we have to use sum and we have to use parseInt because it automatically take decimal value. To avoid that thing, we parse into the int value. So that value will be the int. So num1 and num2, and we use another alert box to define display the result. So we will use that sum to display the result. Once you will use this thing, a window will be a pop-up box will be appeared. In first, we have to define the value for num1. Suppose I written 16 here. In second window, next OK and cancel will be there. Next, once it is appeared, num2 will be appeared. OK and cancel will be there. Then alert box will be appeared with some of these two. Suppose I have taken 16 and I have taken 10. So you will see my result will be 26. That will be appeared, and that is OK with OK button. Second, a browser event. How the browser event will be there? So we have to use button function. Which button? We have defined a event variable. If event.button equal to 1 means we have to define a value. So alert, we have clicked the left mouse button, else you have clicked the right mouse button. That script is cancelled. That is the you have to use body on mouse down. Which button event is going to there? So these are the things we have to use. Other on load, on mouse over, on key, on unload. We can use all kind of browser events. So next is the page manipulation. In page manipulation, we have to use create element name, create text node, append child with new child, and remove child node. So example is there. So we have to define variable list document.get element by id t1. I earlier told to you that we can use DOM object DOM methods here. So that is document.get element by id. So that t1. Next, where new item document.create element li. So where new text equal document.create node text. So list dot append child new written. So new written append child new text. So this use the browser document object model. We focus on the JavaScript language, not it use in the browser. So I earlier told to you we will use DOM here 2 times. So the DOM is basically HTML page is structured data. So DOM provide representation of this hierarchy. So properties will be the document.a link color, document.url, document.form, document.link. All these function and methods will be used, and so method will be Earlier we have used document.write or document.reference. So these change the content of the page. Also, browser object model will be window, object, frame, history, location, navigator. I earlier told to you, and we have to use that particular DOM. So next we use how that is going to be appear. You will see the navigator object, a window object, frame object, and document object. Here these are the paragraph and heading object. So W3 standard differ from model supported in existing browser. So that depends on the thing. So if I talk about the reading property with JavaScript, here how we can use, you will see document.getElementId t1.nodename, because list is defined with UL, and that is t1. Next, get element by id t1 node value, that element by value is equal to t1, and next get element id by first child node, that item 1. Next node name, next is node value. You will see the value. The example, so first will return UL, second it will return null because no value is defined, third it return li, next it will return text, the text that is written in the node value. So these are some language bases. So JavaScript is case sensitive, on click both are HTML, but that are not case sensitive. Still JavaScript is case sensitive, but here it is written in HTML, so that is not case sensitive. Next, statement terminated by return or semicolon. We can write it also, and we can't write it. Both effect same. Blocks of statements are enclosed in curly bracket. Variables defined using the where statement, defined implicitly by first use, which must be an assignment. So implicit definition are global scope even if occur in nested scope. So that is next. We are talking about the function. So functions are basically object with method called with round bracket. So if a property of an object may be function, or we can say method. In some in Java like languages, here it is known as method, and in C we talk it as function. So function name and its argument. If x greater than y, then return x, else return y. In same way, max.description return the maximum of 2 argument. So that is the description of that particular. So local declaration may appear in the function body, or we can supply any number of argument. Here is no restriction to number of arguments here. So function name dot length equal to name of that number of the argument in the definition list, and function name dot argument dot length is argument in call. So basic type are passed by value, object by reference. So anonymous functions, I already told you, function that not define anything, but argument is there, and return x plus y. Last, JavaScript evaluate string as a code. So seen this before, maybe you have seen or not seen, but this is very interesting topic, so I am going to discuss it here. So eval function evaluate a string of JavaScript code in scope of calling code. So define where code equal to where. You will see we have defined again where in double quotes and define a equal to 1. So if I call this function eval code, so a is now 1, not this thing. A is now 1. So where object equal to new object. So if I talk object dot eval code, so object a is now 1. Object a equal to 1. So commonly used, efficiently deserialize a complicated data structure received over network via XML HTTP request. What does it cost to have eval in language? Can you do in C? Maybe you can't. You earlier you have not used this thing. So I expect you will do in your text also. So what would it take to implement? So that are the references which I use for creating this JavaScript PowerPoint. Thank you.